The brothers are back. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Draggin Bags. The best bags in the business. They scientifically make you a better thrower. So why not use science to your advantage and go nerd out over at DragginBags.com and pick up the sporting equipment that you need to up your cornhole game today. Again, that's DragginBags.com for the best bags in the business. Go check them out.
Cornhole. Big Asp cornhole. We hope you throw it straight. And nothing but four-baggers from here on out.
All right, welcome back to yet another episode of the Big Asp Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always. What's going on, man?
Not too much. Just kicking it, man. It's
Back to reality?
Yeah, it's weird being back here, even though we're only like a week removed, but
It is.
here we are.
It is. All right, busy episode. Lots of new stuff. Lots of changes since we've last talked.
Changes.
Thank you. So, besides that, do what you do best every week. Let the folks know what we're drinking tonight in our favorite segment called What You Drinking.
What you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking water right now. It's we're
too.
recording on a Tuesday. Last night we had our fantasy football draft, so I was enjoying some of the Great Lakes new tropical haze craft. It's delightful. Highly recommend to anyone.
Yep.
So, but yeah, water tonight.
I'm also currently in a fantasy football draft.
Yeah,
like
Sean
as
is
we're recording.
literally doing a fantasy football
It's,
draft right now.
Unfortunately, it's an auction.
Yeah.
So these things take forever. So like kind of balls deep in this, but I've spent most of my money to this point, so it's kind of
His
getting down
team's
towards.
terrible, so really doesn't make a difference at this point.
Not true. Anyways, well, we have more audio gold planned for you all today. We're going to touch on the most recent news floating about. We have dramatic readings. All right, so it's not a whole lot of topics, or I guess it is multiple topics, but just not a whole lot of different segments this week.
Yeah.
But a lot of information, so stay going on. All right, and then, but before we jump into all that, we're going to bring you what's going on in our cornhole lives in a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
All right, so let's talk about Spencer's first, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so obviously last week we were technically back, but that was our live recording, which went great. Like it was so much fun. I think we had 15
Something like that, yeah.
14 or 15 different like 10 to 15 minute interviews. If you're listening to this and you were one of the guests, thank you very much.
Had a blast.
Okay, so initial thoughts on Spencer's.
I think it was as good as people said.
Yeah, I described it a few times. After being there for 2 days, it was like an outdoor TCL event on steroids.
For sure. Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt a little bit.
It was a blast. Like, honestly, from the moment we walked in to the moment we left, it was just nothing but drinking beers, throwing bags, and chopping it up with people. Like, what else can you ask for?
Yeah, the
It was
opportunity
great.
to network was worth it enough for us to like want to go back.
Yes,
I mean,
100%.
Regardless, I mean, it was fun too. You know what I mean? Like everyone there is just there to have a good time. It has a seriousness, but it's still very light. Like, you know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like it's like everyone there is to
Everyone
have
had a
fun.
big exhale,
Yes.
and they're
correct.
all just there to like.
It's the
have a
end of
good
the
time.
year. It's the end of the season party.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
pretty much kind of what it is. But it was cool. I mean, like you had like a lot of the celebrities walking around. Like Chuck Liddell, Shamar Moore, Zach King. I've never heard of the guy before, but then I started watching his videos.
I've been a
and
fan
they're
of his for a minute.
awesome.
Yeah, he's cool. He's kind of that like photo magician guy.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. So, but again, all the broadcasts, I attended all of them.
Yeah.
Did you happen to watch the one that you weren't at?
I did not. I was at the concert.
Okay.
So I missed it.
I have a mission for fans out there. If somebody has that recorded, if you could take a picture, you're going to see me and Mr. Brandon Thompson from Airwolf Athletics, and I'm holding up a piece of cardboard. If someone could take a picture of me holding up that piece of cardboard so that I can zoom in on it, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You didn't even tell me about this till
I
just
know,
now.
I know.
I could have had this already done, Sean.
we sent Dane a message from the broadcast.
You sent me a message?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it. Now I'm sad that I...
So,
What'd
but
you say? Like
I
you
was waiting
suck or
till you brought it
something?
up. I was waiting till you brought it up. But
What
you
did
never
the sign
so
say?
I can't tell you. That's the mission.
Oh,
So,
my God. All right.
Okay. The person,
Somebody help me out, man.
that gets me the answer of what was on the piece of cardboard, I'll send you a set of bags. I have a set of Throwdown Edition Burley bags. 4 different series. You can pick whatever one you want. First person that gets me the answer to that.
Each one sexier
With a picture.
than the next.
With a picture. With a picture preferably. So
Didn't know that.
yeah. Dang. I'm going to go ahead and place a bid there real fast. But yeah, Spencer's lived up to the hype for sure. I thought the broadcast, all of them that I went to, were actually very entertaining, even the round limited. Now,
Yeah.
the round limited matches, all of them were good matches and came down to the wire. That's when round limited can be a beautiful thing.
For sure.
We're going to talk a whole bunch about round limited coming up in just a minute. But yeah, overall thoughts, I thought it was great, man. It was a perfect opportunity for us to just remind people that, like, hey, we're still here. Yeah. I mean, not going to any nationals this year was kind of weird. We saw some people at like the opens, but you know how that gets at opens. You know, people are always busy playing, and there's half the time I don't even see half the people there.
Yeah.
You know, we tend to get content with whoever the 20, 30 pros that are walking by us, and then the other ones, like, they're off playing or on the other side.
Yeah.
But the venue was so big that I almost needed the full 3 days just to see everyone that I wanted to see.
But that's also the beautiful thing. It was like, we were just there for 3 days.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like it was very easy to canvas the area.
Oh,
to
it
go,
was.
like meet up with everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. My only complaint was kind of the setup. I didn't really like where the vendors were at this year.
Yeah, it was
because the vendors, like, there were certain ones that were kind of in the beginning of the traffic, but then the other ones were kind of tucked away in the back. And it was like, if you weren't going to seek them out,
you weren't finding them.
yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a way, like, you can incorporate like the gameplay and the vendors more. You know what I mean? Bring the action a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And then leave like more of the seating areas like out by like where the entertainment's at and like all like along the outsides. Because there was a significant amount of seating like inside.
For sure.
Like the playing courts and stuff.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I think that would be my lone complaint too. Like, we just got put in a corner.
Yeah. I will say I think probably the most entertaining match had to be doubles, just because the hometown crowd was just there.
Yeah.
All right. So you had Tony Forbes, Spencer Fabinar, like the crowd could not be more behind them. And I think everyone in the building wanted them to pull off the victory. They took second, still a phenomenal game. And then Eric Davis just showed that in doubles, he is just a motherfucker, man.
Real
the guy
good,
is just
guys.
so good.
It's real good.
He's really good. And listen, it's weird because like Jamie Graham did not have his best that day.
Yeah.
Just was having an off day. I mean, it can happen to anybody. But
Lo and behold,
this
he's
is
still good enough to
if
win
you're
it all,
watching
though.
this on Patreon and like I just keep darting down, it's because I'm trying to keep up with this and just trying to figure out who the hell I want to nominate.
Again, folks, this team's pretty bad, so
Dane's just saying that.
no point.
It's not bad. Okay, so while we were there, we got to bring back an old rivalry. We
Sure
played a
did.
charity match on the broadcast against Brews and Reviews. Chris Cook, Steve Corona. It was great to finally meet them in person.
100%, dude.
We've known them for 6 years now.
Yeah, since the beginning.
I mean, people that have been fans of the show from the beginning will know that we did during the pandemic. We put on a series of like online virtual like competitions. It was us, Brews and Reviews, Dogcast, and then Central Connecticut.
Yep.
And the 4 teams, like we did an online streaming with Scoreholio and partnered with it. We had prop bets. I mean, it was fun. It was a lot of work. It was I thought it went over very, very well. And we won the first one. Brews and Reviews won the second one in protest, I'd say.
Very true.
Because you finished a case beer.
Yeah, and they stopped drinking. So, I mean, who really won that day? All right.
But we finally got to meet them in person, and then they challenged us to a match.
Yeah, and we took it home, man. 1-2 straight. You clipped one of your beautiful backdoor airmails that you just splashed on Cookie.
Had to.
Like, it was kind of funny because I felt like me and Corona both were just like yucking it up down at our end, and then you guys were like,
Yeah,
kind of competing
a little bit. Yeah, I'm
Me
not
and
gonna
Corona
lie.
were just like, great shot, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was definitely like me and Cook both wanted to win our end, and you even said as soon as the game was over, and you came up to me and you're like, "I'm so happy you're throwing against Cook,"
Yeah.
because you're like you're throwing way better, and Cook was throwing pretty well.
Yeah.
And he has a very like aggressive airmail game, and like early on he was hitting.
He was hitting him. Yeah.
But that was the one, like the first game I played well. Second game I struggled to start, but then we found it and we were good. But we let him get up to 18-3 lead, and then we came back and won.
All right,
And
now
we don't want
we're
to
just
play another
gonna
game.
come marching back. Here we go.
Here we go.
I
but
mean,
it was
honestly, I
fun.
felt like that was actually kind of when I finally clicked.
Yes.
I had just a couple rounds of 10 finally.
And
Like,
just for because people were asking on live stream, yes, we are donating the money from the funds to Project Healing
Project
Waters.
Healing
right?
Waters. Great organization. If you guys are a veteran and want to learn about fly fishing, go check them out. They're nationwide. Sean's still trying to figure out his team over here, but yeah, honestly, like I do kind of feel like that match was like a highlight of the weekend for me.
Yeah,
It was just fun, like get out to
we also
throw a little bit.
We both did get to play like other matches. So
We
I
did.
know you filled in for a doubles match for Brandon Thompson there.
I did, yeah.
It was a good match. You just weren't.
I mean, it was 20-20.
yeah, it was
at
a
the
good
end,
match
and-
back and forth. And then I ended up playing in Crew Cup later that night. And out of all the people I could have played with, I ended up getting paired with on the same side of the board. My partner was Fisher Hamilton's dad.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't think I told you any of this.
No, you didn't tell me this.
Yeah, so so we're throwing, and after the first round, he actually asked me. He's like, "Have we met before?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." Like, my name's Sean. He's like, "Wait, are you the podcast guy?" And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Sean." He's like, "Dude," he's like, "I had no idea what you look like, but I've heard your voice 100 times." He's like, "My last name's Hamilton." He's like, "I'm Fisher Hamilton's dad." I'm like, "Oh no shit!"
All right.
So I'm like, "So what's the scoop for next year?"
yeah. Is he coming back? What's going on?
What his dad said was that no decision was final, but that his son was definitely leaving, was leaning towards leaving.
Yeah.
And he was just, he said his son gets really anxious about this stuff. And he was really into working out and just has other interests. And by all means, man, go live your life, kid.
And he just looks like a completely different human being now.
He looks phenomenal.
I mean, you want to talk about like falling in love with working out? That dude is like,
lives in a gym.
yeah,
His dad
seriously,
said
with
that
how
he
fast
lives in a gym.
he has transformed. It's very impressive.
Yeah. So I wish nothing but the best for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think that, he's just
And if he
phenomenal.
comes
And he's
back,
already
he'll
won a
still kill
national.
it.
He's
Yeah.
already won a national single. He has nothing to prove. He's already won it.
And even if he comes back, he'll still kill it.
Correct.
Like, doesn't matter either way.
Correct. Trying to think what else happened. So
I mean, I
there's-
want to bring up something so bad, but
what?
when you have it written down here,
What the kill shots?
yeah, you had a little drunken run-in with.
We did. Me and Austin
With
Raynor.
Austin.
Yeah, it was a late night discussion. We'll call it that. But I think we're good. I mean, I don't know if he's going to remember the conversation or not, but
If I would to see you guys like arguing, it's like I walked into the Lollipop Guild or something.
like, hey, buddy, back off. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Anyways,
So before we get into like all the news, some rumors going around.
yes.
So Gavin Cano had posted the other day that he's like, anyone want to guess who I'm partnering up with? After my conversation with Mr. Hamilton, I'm assuming that, again, he's not coming back. He's going to be a free agent. The rumors are that he might be playing with Sammy Soto. That was kind of like the public perception of it. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
The
think
Gore
they're
brothers have never stuck
buddies,
with the
so-
same partner
Yeah.
back-to-back year.
Do you think the Gore brothers want to go back together?
I think so. I think they're more marketable that way.
Had a year
man.
apart. Now they're just like, you know what? It's time.
I do. I think that they're more marketable that way.
Yeah.
You got to think of a brand at some point. You know what I mean? Like you because you've already made this pro level. If it's fair or unfair, you already kind of lost your college eligibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we've seen other times that these pro guys are still getting a college scholarship and going to help like coach or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I feel like if you're going to stick with this route and they enjoy cornhole, then yeah, I think playing together does offer something.
For sure.
I get it. Like if they want to play with other people, that's fine. But I just think as a brand, they should consider playing together again.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, because Twin Terrors, it sells itself.
It really does, man.
Yeah.
And they're fun to watch together, man.
They really
Like,
are. And maybe that's like the kick. They just needed a year apart to realize how much they missed each other.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Completely agree. Completely agree. All right. The other one, and again, this is just
speculation.
Just a rumor. Just
Wild
a rumor
speculation.
I'm hearing rumors that Eddie G is going to be having a new partner. Steady Eddie G, one of my favorite human beings. I got to see him a bunch at Spencer's. It seemed like every time I was going around the corner, he was there, and we got to chop it up for a few minutes. So he's one of my favorite people. I'm hoping he's going to join us on the show to confirm some of this stuff. But I've heard rumors that he might be looking for a new partner, and he might be throwing with Dylan Turpin this year. And
that's a nasty.
Again, Dylan Turpin is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
People forget like just how good he is because he hasn't eclipsed it yet. But I mean, I put him right up there with like top 10 potential every single season.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he's just high PPR, just can mess your day up.
Yeah.
And him and Eddie G, man, that'd be an interesting duo.
No, I think that
Does that
instantly.
mean that KB's
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously I think they qualified somehow. I'm not really sure. I don't know for sure, but it just I heard from a pretty credible source that I trust.
I mean,
that,
Eddie would have for singles because I think he was like 36th or something.
Oh,
He finished pretty well.
also reached out to Eddie.
Yeah.
Just any news you want to share, buddy? And he just said that he'll let me know as soon as he didn't deny when I threw out the situation. So I'm not confirming anything,
nothing
but
the best.
if that is the case, those two teams happen. I think they're both well into consideration for top 10.
For sure. Yeah, especially
like
for
power ranking stuff.
Or like, best new team, like ones that like we can throw out there.
They would be a sneaky dark horse team to make a very very good run that they might not be on everybody's radar.
For sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like power rankings wise, like they might be left
They'll
off.
be a great like early bet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree. Just let me take a peek here, see what some of these max bets these guys have. My max bet currently is $6, but we're starting to get down to it. And it's my turn to nominate somebody, and I think I'm going to just throw out my dude here and just try to get him. All right, see if I can get one of my guys that I'm kind of high on this year. I think he could turn into what Tony Pollard was 2 years ago, is Rico Dowdle. So I'm going to try to get him here.
I just don't know enough about that dude, but one of the other highlights of my trip, as odd as it is, my train ride.
Oh yeah, how was that? You said it was baller?
Baller. Like in first class in that tram, that was nice. Got to take a nice nap, had a couple beers, and Sean didn't get his guy.
Fucking
He's very angry.
It's all right. It's fine. There's other guys.
Yeah, dude, it was so easy. Like, I had never gone on a train before. That was my first time.
Yeah,
I will do it again.
You texted me when you got to the hotel,
easy.
and you're like, "That was the best experience of my life."
Dude, that shit was so like, all right. Truth be told, like I had serious anxiety about getting back up into LA to make my flight in the morning because it was early as shit.
Yeah.
So then I saw the train. And I'm like, all right, this seems to be the most like cost effective route.
And like you could hop on a train. Like what was it? Like a mile away from where we were.
A mile. It was right at the end of the fucking parking lot. Like literally right where we were at. There's a stop right there. Never checked my ticket. I walked right into first class. Went and sat in this beautiful little lounger. Had a little foot prop up and everything. And then they're like, dude came around. He's like, you want anything to drink or eat? I was like, let me see a menu.
Of course. Yeah. What do I look like?
I didn't eat.
Let's be clear.
But I did have some beers. And there's just people like partying down in the galley and shit.
Really?
Like full on like partying. I was like, all right, I guess this is what people do in California. They just hop on a train and go into LA to go party. And it's kind of like, we have the Rapid here, but you got like, there's no way you're getting drunk on the Rapid. You're only on it for like 10 minutes.
So like describe this train. Was it like an old timey, like where you sit down and like you got your private like sliding door kind of thing?
No,
or was it just like a Rapid?
It wasn't like lavish. I was shocked at just how convenient and easy it was. And I think that was part of it. Like when I sat down, all of the anxiety just melted away from me.
Okay.
And I was like, sweet, like this is going to be super simple to get out there. I have 2 hours if instead of, $30 and a 2-hour train ride or a 2-hour car ride and $180. So
fair.
It was pretty easy, but yeah, no, I was just like, the inside kind of looked like it's like a plane almost. Like it wasn't anything ridiculous, but again, not too shabby.
That's cool.
I highly recommend it.
Oh yeah. All right. So, kind of going into like the news and all the like the changes and stuff. The first thing I thought that we should bring up is Easterling's going ACO.
Yeah.
So he was a guy that made it through the pro qualifier. I got to play against him when we went to the AKL, and he's one of those guys that as soon as you see him throw and you throw against him, you're like, oh, he's got that game. Like he has that skill that it's pro. You know,
Yeah.
like we've seen it before. I've played against it. Like I don't belong on the same board as you right now. Like you're that good. So he apparently decided to go to the ACO. I'm a little surprised by that. I don't know. Again, I don't know if he's been like really successful on. All right, so I got J.K. Dobbins. I'll take that. All right, sorry,
Squirrel.
So I don't know if it was more of like a financial consideration, just like if the events for him would be closer. I guess I'm a little surprised that you go to the trouble going through a pro qualifier and then ultimately make a decision that quickly before you know all the information from the ACL.
Rumor has it he just got nervous because he found out he's going to have to probably face Jeremiah more often again.
I mean, I guess so. I mean,
more tournaments besides his own, like right in his neighborhood.
I don't know. I was surprised though. I was.
It does stink, but I mean, again, like you said, it's a huge undertaking cost wise. Like, so you got to be ready for it.
I don't know if you saw Alec Rayone's looking for a new partner.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe girl.
Is that Mr. Steal Your Girl?
So do you know, like this is showing maturity in my level.
Yeah.
Is the fact that I didn't comment anything. I had 3 or 4
but
little
like,
comments.
Right, isn't there like a morality clause in the, like, did that break any of it?
Probably
or
not.
anything?
I mean,
because that's just,
I don't know.
To me, like,
I wanted to have fun with it, but
it breaks
I stopped,
my morality clause.
But I stopped myself.
Yeah.
And I was a bigger man, and I was proud of myself. Dane.
But hey, Alec Ryan, looking for a new partner.
Yep. All right. So the schedule was released.
Was it? No,
It was.
Kidding, I saw.
So the first 6 open dates and locations were announced. Let me pull up the picture here real quick.
That's not the right picture, Sean.
I know. Trying to find it. Let me see. Where's it at? It's gonna be hidden. All this shit.
Well, I know the first one's in Rock Hill.
Here we go. Yep. All right. So we got the first one in Rock Hill. October 18th to the 20th is the second one. It's in Iowa. And then you have Little Rock, Arkansas, Hamilton, Ohio, November 15th to the 17th. December 6th to the 8th is Richmond, Virginia. And then you have Myrtle Beach right around the first of the year. So.
Okay.
So I guess before we get into the step over rule's gone too. Like, it's no surprise, right? We've all talked about it. Are you happy that it's gone?
Sure. So I guess we can stop talking about it, but I was always on board with having just a little bit of
something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, again, like we've said it before, there is a purpose for that shot.
Yeah.
Like I think gone are the days that we're going to see
these crazy
penguins
push shots
and stuff like that. Because I mean,
or you just have to start further back.
You got to start further back, but I mean, the trajectory is part of it too. Like,
correct.
You got to get so low to the ground, and yeah, I mean, again, people will learn it and they'll adjust, and the game will be fine. I do think we're going to see a dip in PPR next year. Not crazy, but I think it'll lead to some.
You really think we're going to see a dip in PPR?
I do.
Like, what
For
you
some
think?
of the
Just
people. I think there's enough that
you think an overall average PPR
Yeah.
is going to go down for the league?
just a little
okay.
bit. Yeah.
All right, that's fair. I'm trying to think of high PPR guys that do step over. I guess there are some.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those guys that throw carpet are out there having to huck it a little bit harder. So yeah, they're most of them step over when they need to.
That's true. I don't know. I'm fine with it because again, we don't have to talk about it anymore. We're good. We just have to. Now, to me, it's like you brought in this officials.
Yeah.
Are you still rolling with this officials program? Is it because now there's less for people to watch and worry about? Like now, really, they don't have to worry about like releasing the bag. We just have to worry about, all right, did they cross the line at all?
And that can be just automated.
They also added let me see where it's at. I think it's on the back of this page. They also added a final round penalty, which is added for an opponent leaving the box early prior to the bag being thrown. So let's say you finish throwing your last bag, and I don't think you can leave the box to like go get a drink anymore.
Oh, that's
until
weird.
that last bag is thrown. I think to me that's kind of what.
So people
or you
see
can't
that
start
as, like, a
walking
distraction
early.
or something?
I guess I don't know.
To me, I mean, the walking early is definitely a distraction.
No, oh yeah, for sure. Walking down the board,
Yeah.
yes. And I don't know if that's what they're talking about, or like, can you step behind? Like, if it's out of like, if you're stepping backwards out of the box, is that fine? Or do you have to stay in the box, let the bag be thrown? Then, hey, if I want to go grab a drink or
Yeah,
something,
it should almost be like box extended. Like,
or hey, I can't go up to the tablet with the
Yeah.
scores entered while waiting for that last bag. I have to wait till the last bag's thrown and then step back. I mean, if they're going to be sticklers about that, it's something that people need to kind of pay attention to then.
oh, for sure.
So
I mean, I'll break that rule all day.
all day, every day.
Thank God I ain't no pro.
Okay, so other things. All right, so they announced the schedule for 6 opens. There's going to be 12 opens this year.
Yeah.
And then they're replacing these nationals with signature series, what they're calling. I've not gotten confirmation on if so the pro season is going to be 18 total events, right? Those 12 opens and then the 6 signature series. That's where they can earn pro points towards everything,
Yeah.
right? So a few things that are changing. Obviously, nationals are now signature series. There's 6 of them, including the world championships. I don't know if they have to make like 4 of them or if they have to make 3 of them. I don't know how all the point systems are going to work. We are going to have guests on next week. We're going to be joined by Athena Delgado and Ashley Scola. I'm going to go into a lot more detail about all these new changes. I just wanted to kind of touch lightly on all the topics, and then we'll kind of dive into more of the details next week.
Kind of sounded a lot like the TCL on a national scale.
A little bit. But TCL doesn't have they have their signature series, yes, but they don't have like that middle. Like we're still having like national events then, so there is some of that. Perhaps the biggest change of all these events. So the 12 opens that are going to be going, 6 of the 12 are going to be shootout format, and it's not just for pros. It's going to be shootout for everybody. So you're going to be playing 14-round games.
We got to go get into one of those. I feel
Okay,
like.
so ironically, Hamilton, Ohio is a shootout.
Is it really?
Open.
Okay, maybe that's one that we venture down for because it is intriguing. Like I would love to. I've never. Done
I'm pretty sure I saw that was a shootout open. Are you into this though?
For me to play it, yeah. It still needs to translate to better quality games on television. Now, yes, there's definitely some bangers. We've seen some great moments. I just think that there's a steeper drop off for boring games than there are when it's to 21.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Because at the end of the day, these are all pros, and they're more often than not they end up at least getting some of it if they don't make it all the way back from a big deficit. But when it's round limited, most of the time it's just like whatever. Like there's no chance to come back. So
I think that if you're going to include it into point system, then you have to go all in. And this to me is them going all in this direction.
Yeah.
So they're just fully embracing it, being like, hey, like we know that it's 2 style games, but we're going to embrace both of them. So you got to get good at both of them.
yeah.
You can't just be really good at the 21 format. You got to be good at this round limited stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that the like non-pro / elite is going to be 14 rounds. And I think the pro and elite is 12.
Okay.
I think that's how it is. So that way people still feel like they're getting their money's worth, playing a little bit. And then the other big change from these open events is that the pro and elite players are going to have a completely separate division. Gone are the days where pros and elites are all mixed in like this advanced / open division or like this open division. They're having their own set place where they're going to be getting pro points for.
Which makes sense because now it's going to be almost easier to tell the cream that's rising to the top to like possibly become a pro.
It's going to be to me again. It's kind of going along golf.
Mm-hmm.
You're having like these series tournaments that you still get points for doing really well, but then I'm interested to see how the point structure is. Open points versus a signature event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where you have the major events and then you have an elevated event in golf or a standard tournament. Mm-hmm. You know, if these signature events are like these elevated events and you win those, yeah, they should mean more than like if you win 2 opens, but you win 2 signature events, people should remember the signature event wins
For sure.
But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get credit. It's like, so I think to me that they're fine tuning what they already had kind of laid out and they're just kind of branching it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So they're adding the shootout. They're separating the pros and elites. So that means if you want that opportunity to sit there and go and play against a pro, you gotta sign up to be that pro or that elite level, and you have to qualify to be that elite level.
For sure. No, I definitely agree. I was trying to think of like a good golf analogy, and I was like, well, that's kind of like Scheffler and being like, yeah, I remember him winning the Masters, but I don't remember the 30 other tournaments he won.
So the ACL is launching their new version of the SPR. Do you see that?
Oh, I did. Yeah. What are they calling it again?
The Cornhole Performance Index, or the CPI. Yes, correct. So it's going to be a range from 1 to 12. So 1 meaning you suck, and 12 meaning like you're a fucking baller. Trying to decide who I want as a wide receiver here.
So I'm trying to figure out what level would I start off at. Well, do you think I would be like a 2 or a 3? Do I suck that bad?
Jahan Dotson, is he worth it this late for $1? Yeah, let's go.
Why not?
Let's try getting him for $1. See if I can get him. Yeah, so it basically the CPI is a range from 1 to 12, right? And then they're going to be using your PPR, DPR, schedule strength, and then weighted wins / loss, right? So it's going to give you this number ranging from 1 to 12. It's going to be eligible for gold, platinum, or diamond membership. Individuals. This is kind of the thing for me that like I'm probably not even going to get a score, because you have to have played in 50 ACL games since the start of 2021-2022 seasons.
That's
I'll
what
be
I was
interested to
too.
see if I've gotten there.
I don't think I've gotten there.
I'll be interested to see if I've gotten there, which is sad. And you have to have logged 150 rounds in the updated ACL software from 2022-2023 seasons.
Definitely don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I even have enough rounds to get a score. So like that's
most of the stuff we play in is not ran on ACL.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So like the blind draws and stuff I go to are all Scoreholio. So like,
yeah,
I don't have any of that stuff in.
Very
Maybe
true.
that's their ploy to get people to try to go ACL software route.
Did I not get Dotson?
I don't believe you did. Another big change: the bag spin now included in the official rule book as an alternative coin toss. I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? It's how they all started off anyway.
I know, right? And it was weird that it wasn't already in the rule book. So, like, could you protest any game that started then? Yes. That was done by bagsmen prior to this?
Bag makers out there, start using this to your advantage.
Right. I know.
Put
get
some
creative
cool
with
stuff
that.
like in a corner. Like do something cool. Like let's see it.
Get creative.
All right, because like I'm the seams are disappearing on these bags. All right, they're really hard to see when you spin it. Put something cool in the corners.
Completely agree. All right, so player conduct violations have now have specified penalties, which I think is smart.
Lame.
Be right out in front for player conduct violations. It's going to be included. I guess I'm kind of interested in seeing what violations are going to be included and like the level of severity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I guess I'm just interested in seeing what's gonna occur with all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean the severity is the real question mark. Are they gonna actually be willing to put nuts to it?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Depends on who does it.
Yeah, that is true. All right, so we already talked about the opponent leaving the box early. The ACL is rolling out a new model. All right, so gone are conferences, and they're going to a state-based model.
IO. Let's go.
But so it's weird. So state directors are allowed to throw like 4 bigger events, right? 2 are state-based events, where only people from your state could participate. Mm-hmm. And then they're also allowed to throw what is
2
it? Interstate.
Yeah.
So basically it's like a super regional. Like anyone from any area can come in there, but it's going to count for your state-based points, not for pro standings.
See, I want 4 tournaments. You have the 2 Ohio State championships, and then I want Ohio versus PA, and then Ohio versus Michigan. And let's get after it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
Yeah, it would be.
Just saying, folks. Just saying.
Just trying to take a look to see if there's anyone that's worth getting. I kind of need some wide receiver help bad. What about, you like Wicks or Bateman? Bateman's always getting hurt, but I think Wicks has a chance to go with Green Bay. I was
going to say, you got to choose one of them?
Yeah. Right now I do. I'm going to go with Wicks. See if I can get Wicks.
All right. ACL's also rolling out a new player incentive program.
They are. I was actually kind of pumped to see a little bit.
I mean, it's kind of a start of something to help these guys out.
It's something to give back to the people that are kind of propping up the ACL right now, which are the participants, right? Mm-hmm. So in this player incentive program, they're calling it the PEP, right? You can earn points by participating in local events, regional, state, and open events. And then you're going to get like monthly bonuses if you participate in 8+ tournaments in that month.
Gotcha.
So you get like 5 bonus points or whatever. But like players are going to have a variety of incentives like digital awards, personalized messages from pros, bag raffle entries, ACL jerseys, entry into a 5K tournament at Worlds. So, I mean, it's not the worst program in the world. Yeah. You know what I mean, it's giving us all some incentive to go out there
now,
and to
we're
play.
Reporting on it. I want to see this actually be like a thing they advertise.
Yes.
In the ACL now.
Yes.
Don't just post this little thing about it and then hope everyone understands it. You need to stay consistent and pump this out. Like, it's how you grow the game.
Because I really do think this could get popular.
Yes, 100%. Like, there's cool shit in there.
If you know
like,
you're not going to go and you're not going to be the #1 ranked player in your state.
Exactly.
But you're a
journeyman
and you go and you play in every fucking tournament every single week and you're at every regional and every state conference, you should get something back.
Exactly.
And this is something that you can get back now.
100%.
I do like this. I mean, to me, it's like a no-lose situation as long as you market it properly and people know about it.
Yeah.
Hype it up.
I mean,
get people pumped about this.
The biggest thing for me is the personalized message from a pro. Who would you want a personalized message from?
Ooh.
Most in the world.
From personalized from pro?
Yeah.
Oh man. That's tough, man.
The pro cornhole world.
Put me on the spot here.
I know.
Um
And I know there's never a chance that you're gonna hit that point total to get the bonus points and qualify for this.
Well, who are you going? Since you put me on the spot,
I put you on the spot. I don't have to answer.
I mean, there's so many. There's so many guys.
I like all the pros. So
it's just such a cop out answer.
I'll tell you, a new recent BFF.
Oh, dude,
Chris Kingsbury, dude, like. Instant connection. I'm like, where have you been all my life? I feel like we could definitely kick it.
And can we talk about us for just a split second that the dude is...
We are the same age.
The same age as us? Like, it is crazy.
I honestly thought I was 10 years his elder.
Oh, dude. 100%.
But then I actually saw his hair up close. I'm like, no, you actually do have gray hair. So, like, we're in the same boat. You just have a lot more of it.
Yeah, correct. Sorry, I'm just checking out my team real quick. I just want to see what my...
Yeah, guys, we definitely became BFFs with Chris, like, right off the rip. So he was a delight to meet out at Spencer's.
Oh, he really was. And he, like, his answer could not, when he said 3 ninjas, me and Dane, like, look, I wish we were filming it. Dude. Because we looked at ourselves and we, like, just slowly smiled back at him. And then you hit him with the Rocky Loves Emily, and he's like, no way. Yeah, so he's one of those guys that we definitely hit it off very well with. I can't wait to get him on for, like, a full episode. See who I want to get.
Sean's getting down to the nitty gritty. This stuff's flying over here now. He's panicking.
No, I knew it. I just need wide receiver help now. And there's like only 3 of us that are left, so I just have to make my last 2 picks, and we're good. Okay, so if you're taking Kingsbury out, I think I have to go. Nick Williams is still so up there for me.
For sure.
This is one of my favorite all-time dudes. And he's one of those guys that I would be friends with even if we weren't doing this podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
so probably
right
Nick.
off Sutton would be another one.
Oh,
love Dave Sutton.
Dude, Sutton cracks me up, man.
Steve Bernasette would love one from that dude. I think I get along with him really well. Yeah, it's really hard to like peg. I think Adam Hissner would actually have a really funny personalized message, so that'd be probably worth hearing too.
Yeah, that's true. What are we doing with Elijah Moore this year? Is he doing anything for the Browns, you think?
Yeah,
I mean,
this sit on the bench really good. I think he's like
Quentin Johnston or
in under wide receiver 4 territory.
Let's get him there. Well, that's kind of where we're at here with this. We're at backup tight ends too.
So other changes.
Sorry. I know this is great.
Coming next year to the pro circuit. Gone are the days where everyone enters the world championships with an equal chance to win. So like you can't Not everyone can play. Not everyone can win. Then
this is perhaps the biggest change, I think, of everyone.
So it's like next year, only the top 32 singles teams and top 20 doubles teams through the Signature Series events will be eligible to play in the World Championship brackets. Pro players who failed to qualify in the above criteria will compete at Worlds in a play-in tournament to afford another 8 singles and 4 doubles teams. So in total, 40 singles and 24 doubles teams can make it into the World Championships.
Yep. So it puts a huge emphasis on pro players entering the season, finding a pro partner that they think they can win with.
For sure, yeah.
So because you're still going to have a pro field that this year is probably, if I had to guess, 190-ish, maybe 200. I don't know. I'm just shooting out. So
I think we're going to be down to like one.
Let's say even if it is, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Even if it's 200, right? Even if they bump it up to 200. And they bump it down to 200, but still 200. You have to be top 32 in singles.
Yeah,
top 32 in singles, and then if you're not 32, you have to go into basically a qualifier to try to get 8 spots, and then go in there. It's tough, man. Like it really is tough. But if doubles, if you're a top dog, you need to partner up with somebody else that you're locking in one of those top 24 spots.
And so for those doubles teams and those people that make it in singles, they're virtually guaranteed to requalify next year if they make that tournament then.
Yes, I would imagine so.
Right?
Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah. I think that would be a safe bet. Especially if you're one of the top 32 or the top 24, I would imagine.
Starting to wonder if that's kind of the route that they're going to look to go.
Again, I haven't gotten clarification. I'm hoping that maybe Athena and Ashley can shed some light onto this next week about the true qualification process for pros, and has it been laid out black and white where you need to finish next year to qualify, because it has been stated officially that next year it's going to be down to 100 pros.
Hundo.
So,
and these numbers make sense with how many they have here with 40 singles and 24 doubles. I mean, that gets
there's
you
going to be
to,
some crossover.
Yeah, potentially 84 individuals, but
yeah,
again, there's going to be crossover, and then
do you have a qualifier every year?
Dude, I think it would be dope to have everyone just go into this like gauntlet right after that.
I mean, you want your spot back, earn it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I think that would be kind of a sweet way to.
It just does suck that your only chance comes down to one day.
Yeah, and if you just don't have it.
You know how I think it does, how you could change it though, is you seed it based on where you finished.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And then you have a better chance.
Yeah, I think that would be probably fair.
So
again, we're still learning about some of this pro stuff that's coming out, but I think this is big news though. The 32 teams, 32 individuals, 24 teams. I mean, you got to find a pro partner that you feel like is rock solid.
For sure. No, I mean it's.
Or you better be standing on your singles game.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And there's not many guys out there that can do that consistently.
No. I'll be interested to see how they do. Like, traditionally they've taken like the top 50 doubles teams automatically qualified. If they take these top 24, then is it the next 32 singles are automatically qualifying, or is it going to be? What are going to be the other criteria? That's what I'm interested to kind of find out. So, we already said that they're decreasing the pro field to 100 in 2026, but this year, big news. In 2025, they're introducing a junior, women's, and senior pro tour.
Nice.
So, if you are somebody like a Jaden Ellis, who recently announced that he's turning down his pro card, despite him being offered it as a junior, he's turning it down to maintain college eligibility. Mm-hmm. He is still going to be eligible to be an elite player playing in the juniors tour. I'm assuming that this junior tour is going to be paid out in some sort of scholarship money.
Yeah. I
would imagine that's the only way it's going to work.
Or it could be like a trust that it pays into or something.
Women. For the women and the senior tour, the women and the senior tour is open to already pro people in like that, let's say that 200 amount, or elite players. So that's where these divisions are going to get pretty deep. So there are ways to kind of work your way through, and they're going to have different championships.
I like it.
But they're trying, they're adding different things. I think this year, they're bringing back Crew Cup.
Yeah.
They're having mini board tournaments at events. So like little things like, they need to spice it up a little bit. Listen, I'm willing to give it a year to see how this shootout format works.
Mhm.
I'll be interested to see what the feedback is from players that play it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Because right now we don't really get not many of us get an opportunity. I know some directors in the area have done like round limited tournaments going into stuff. I've never played in a round limited event. I think that the idea sounds interesting. I'm against it long term for a broadcast sense, only because I get why you have to do it, but I just feel like the matches have to be really good.
Yeah.
And at Spencer's, they were really good, and it was fucking great because the level of talent was just there. But Teams event, where the talent level has a drastic dip in some of these matches, and the matches just get out of control, that's when it's not entertaining.
For sure. Yeah,
but I do think it's interesting to play. It brings a whole different strategy to the game.
It does 100%. Honestly,
And if we're being honest, like how many of my games really go 14?
dude, I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, it's just
I'm
a
going to be
standard game.
happy as shit if I make it to round 14. I'll be like, I didn't lose at 14 rounds. Like, I threw decent.
Yeah, right. I'm no longer a 1. So just touching back on the Jaden Ellis news.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is going to be a growing trend?
Yeah. I
think,
really do.
I think this year, with them announcing of this junior division, right? I think that we're not going to see juniors getting offered a pro spot, whether they earned it or not going forward.
No, and honestly,
I think that those that are in right now are going to be grandfathered in. So I think it was a big decision but again, somebody like Jaden Ellis, right? Who is at that age where he's just about to go to school. It is a no fucking brainer. Go get your college paid for free, young man.
100%.
And go get the degree for free, play cornhole, and then afterwards,
worth more than you're going to make.
If you still like cornhole after doing it in college, then go get your pro card.
For sure.
You're
but
that
that scholarship's worth way more than you're going to make.
You're
in cornhole
100%. 100%. It's a no brainer. Now, if you're somebody that's 12,
yes,
and you're a killer, and you're the parents. Is my son still going to like cornhole in 6 years? I don't know.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Would it be dumb for us to just try to make as much as him to make as much money as he can now?
Because we don't know what's junior circuit and let it rip.
I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. I would be interested. What are the prizes for juniors? I'm assuming it has to be college scholarship.
Yeah.
Again, that's definitely a question I want to ask Athena and Ashley next week.
For sure.
So yeah.
So
All
yeah.
right. All right, we got a dramatic reading here.
What?
We do. Let me pull it up here right quick.
In a world where bean bags have brought men to their knees, social media serves as sanctuary for keyboard warriors. Time for the dramatic readings.
As always, these dramatic readings are brought to you by Big D Bags. We love to have the girth in our hands when we throw our big D's around. So why don't you join us? Head over to Big D Bags and get your hands on some thickness today. Drop code Big Asp 10
For
save you $10 off.
$10.
$10 bills, y'all. So remember, don't be a big D bag. Throw them.
Addicted to cornhole. Kenneth Vincent. This will likely be an unpopular opinion, and nearly is by me as well. However, if the ACL is going to set rules and standards on bags, then let's make the letters be that indicating standards across all brands. For example, first off, all bag series with the same name has to have the same fill, then L, R, H for different weights. No, letter is flat fill. X means mixed fill. If a bag series is named mediocre, then mediocre L cannot have a different fill or a variation of fill. It's simply the exact same fill, just in a lighter or heavier weight. If it's different mixture, then it's a different series, plain and simple. If the difference is mediocre flat fill and mediocre X mixed fill, then follow by LRH. That makes the most sense, and customer players aren't confused from one brand to the next. That is really tough to take in just listening to it.
Yes.
But I get his idea. He wants to standardize it across all series.
Which originally,
I
that's
think
kind of what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the Wizard L came out and threw it all through a loop.
Yeah, because it's not just a light wizard.
Yeah. It's not. It's more than that. It's so much more than a light wizard, Sean. All right?
It's never going to get old.
Yeah,
I'm never going to let that die.
It's not Gandalf
ever.
the Grey on a hunger strike. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of agree. It would be easier for the consumer, but let's be serious. Like most of us that are really getting into it, you're just going to go to Addicted to Cornhole and ask opinions, or you're going to do your own research, or you're going to just buy the bags just to kind of experiment with, or maybe like I think could be on bag manufacturers to be more descriptive in their bags and explaining what you're reading on there.
Yeah.
Now I will say, it is gone are the days of like having to go to like where you had BG or local, and then you had a picture of the bag. They told you what the material were, and then that was fucking it. Like I'm like, well, is suede good?
Yeah, what just happened to me?
Yeah. Like,
Why did I click pay?
Yeah, is synthetic fibers good? Like, is that gonna be fast or slow?
Had a
Like,
listener's shoulders.
yeah. Holding a cup. But I mean, most websites now are pretty good, about describing what they are. I get it. Like, could it be fun to stand? But it'd be a lot of work.
Now I will say, speed scales on some of these though. I mean, I don't really agree with a lot of them, to be honest with you.
Again, speed. Again,
we're in
it's so
different areas,
subjective,
so like, I mean, I get it, but yeah, some of them are just like, sorry, but hybrid carpet's not a 3.5 or a 4 anywhere.
No.
But that's just me. That's just me.
You want to cue the rap horn?
Do I ever?
Do it. Reach us at Instagram and Twitter at Big Asp Cornhole.
And Facebook at Big Asp Cornhole Podcasts. Thanks again to our sponsors. Visit DraggingBags.com for the best bags in the business that will literally make you a better thrower through science.
And I'm wearing their hat right now.
Sean is rocking their cap right now. It looks damn good.
It's my favorite one.
And then, I'm kind of like wearing an Arizona cap.
You are. Whole 9 yards. Shout out to Nick.
Shout out, Nick.
And your very
Love
little
whole
beard.
9 yards. And Big D Bags. Go grab your girth over at BigDBags.com. Drop code BIGASP10 to save yourself $10 off at shipping.
Don't forget about Patreon. If you're looking to support the show, if you go to patreon.com/BigAspCornhole for the price of a beer a month, you can support the show. You get bonus content. You get entries into monthly bag giveaways. You get a sticker sent to you. Eventually, we're going to shout out your names because there's a lot of you now, and I just need time to read them all off without boring everyone to death. But yeah, we greatly appreciate your support. If you want to just check it out and kind of get a feel for what Patreon's all about, you can sign up for free. So go check us out at patreon.com/BigAspCornhole. We greatly appreciate your support. Next week we have 2 interviews lined up.
Yes,
all right, we've already touched on. We have Athena Delgado and Ashley Scola. Athena is a national director. Ashley, I believe, is like what they're considering like an area director now.
Okay.
I don't know their official titles. We'll get all that worked out and stuff, but they're very much in the know on policies and very much involved in the shape of and the direction that the ACL is going. I think that they're going to be very informed guests. So if you're a cornhole fan in general and interested in the future of the game, I think this is going to be a really good interview you're going to want to check out.
Speaking of future of the game,
yep.
We also have Quinn Reeves.
Quinn Reeves also joining the show next week. So excited for that. We got to talk with him very briefly at Spencer's, but ran into him. We were walking around with the banner, just mentioned like, hey, would love to have you on the show. And guess what? He's such a professional kid. He actually reached out.
He
said,
followed
hey,
up.
It was nice to meet you. I would love to come on the show. And guess what? God damn it. That's
He's on the show.
how it
Look at
works,
that.
folks. You reach out, we make it happen. So Quinn, we're excited to have you on next week. And if you're sticking with us this long, there's one thing I want to kind of like eat crow on a little bit. So last week, or not last week, the week before, when I was trying to make a point about rallying behind and stop being, Debbie Downers about everything, all the changes, and kind of just be patient in the future of the game. And I wrote an article, and I kind of took some shots at ACO at the article, and then in my little rant, went off on them a little bit. I have nothing against the ACO. It was my intent of that argument was not to bash anybody. My intent was lost, and I realize that now, especially after listening back to it. I didn't mean to bash anybody. I was really just trying to get my point across that in order for the game to grow,
we can't keep crying about it.
And it's not just ACL. We can't cry about any of the stuff. We want everyone we want everyone to do well. I should not have taken a shot at the ACL. It was my fault. I ate crow on that. That's my bad. I truly mean it was not coming from a bad place. I was just trying to make my point across. You guys were an easy target. Didn't mean it. Listen, a guy I very much respect. Had a great conversation with him last week. He, reminded me of an old saying, right? Rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
Right. It's true, right? So we're better off when everyone's doing well.
Sean, you also know loose lips sink ships.
Very true.
All right.
Yeah. Just like that. Yeah, and if you're listening to this and you've been waiting, and I'm getting messages about like drama that's been unfolding, I've made a decision that if you want that brought up, it's not on us. All right.
Yeah. We haven't dealt.
And I know
in
this is
personal
very.
stuff
I know
before,
this is very ambiguous, but people that know will understand what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
It's not on us. It is personal business, in my opinion. If you think it's so important for the world to know, then you guys post it, and maybe we'll do a dramatic reading of it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I'm out. Like, I've thought long and hard about it. I've stayed out of other personal matters throughout the years, and it just doesn't seem like it's a win-win for anybody. So,
I just hate airing out laundry.
correct. It's not.
I mean, that's why I have a dryer. All right.
Correct. So that's where I stand on it. So hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. We know it's a little bit different, long-winded. Thanks for sticking with me as I grinded through a draft that I finished like 20 minutes ago. So I don't know if you can tell I'm actually paying attention now. But
He is.
so I was a little distracted, but I apologize. But next week's gonna be 2 banger episodes. Hope you guys enjoy. And as always,
Hang on before you end it.
I'm sorry.
Patreon members. We're gonna have actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If you
Yes.
noticed, we had our old intro song in here.
That's
Okay,
good
so
catch.
we have done I think 8 straight with a
Least.
unique,
At least.
8 or 10 with a unique intro song. So we're gonna post all those up on Patreon and let you guys vote, and let's get the next intro song in here. So
Dane has been secretly grinding behind the scenes, putting these songs together.
Yeah.
And there have been some that I thought were just so good.
yeah, and honestly, like, I know you could just like do it through AI, but if you ever go back and read the lyrics, they suck. So like you do have to tweak everything. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've been grinding through that. So I think we have a couple. Again, we're gonna post them all up though. Low key, I'm kind of hoping for the opera.
Yeah,
Like that one
dude.
was
Still that was the
amazing.
first
That was the
one?
very first one.
Yeah, that was-
Loved it.
We both heard that and looked at each other and we're like, that has to be the first
Yeah,
one. Like,
it
it's
was-
just
it
too
was
good.
epic.
But we are going to, it's going to be on Patreon. So Patreon members are going to be able to vote for it. We're going to post like all across social media just so people know about the
yeah,
poll.
we'll drive
but,
it to Patreon.
But Patreon's going to be the place you're going to vote. So we want you guys to decide what our new intro song is going to be. We've had a lot of fun, like just playing
Yeah.
them. And the people that have noticed and messaged us be like, dude, we love the different intro songs. Eventually, like, it's got to come to an end. And it
Yes.
went way longer than I thought it was. Originally, our idea was like, all right, let's do like the next 3 episodes. And then you're like, well, I came up with like 10.
yeah, so like we'll just let them rip. But yeah, honestly, like, and we might start it back up again if we get bored of that one. Then
Yeah.
next one up.
Always
Let's
different, always
let it
changing.
rip. But
Always
I do
changing.
want to stick with a consistent one for a little bit because
Yeah.
it takes a minute to make them.
And going forward, I think that it's important. I think it's the perfect time. Like the ACL season's over. We have been doing the Cornhole podcast now for going on our year 6, right?
Yeah,
So we just finished up year 5, like our 5th season, covering like professional cornhole stuff. I love the game. I want it to grow as big as it can, and we're going to continue to cover cornhole. But Dane and I have other interests, man. So we hope you guys are okay with it. But we're gonna try to mix in some other stuff that interests us as going forward. So I think what we're gonna try to do is brand it a little bit different. So if you're familiar with Joe Rogan's podcast at all, like how he names like the episodes where he's talking MMA, you're going to know that he's talking MMA. So I think we're going to name these episodes, episode whatever, but it's going to be like Big Asp Cornhole. Like, so you'll know it's a cornhole based episode. If you're interested in hearing about other stuff, and I'm working on getting, just some random guests to interview. I don't know. I just think that we have other interests. There's other things we like to talk about. And again, in professional cornhole world, content sometimes can get tough. It doesn't mean that we're going to be slacking on any of the behind the scenes stuff. It's just when we're sitting here to record, we like talking about other stuff, and I think it could be entertaining content.
well, I think one thing that I'm going to post up is I do a weekly parlay for college football.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
So like I'm gonna
Yeah.
Why not yuck it up and I'll tell you
It's
guys.
going to
my
be
picks
just.
each
I think
week.
it'll be just a generalized sports, fun, whatever we're interested in kind of stuff.
and we play all that fancy football.
All that
So
fancy football,
Might
so-
as well.
Yeah. So, and I was just looking at her stat. Like, so Yahoo just added in where you can now compare managers and
Yeah.
stuff. Dude, like me, you and Dad have done really well.
Yeah, we dominate.
Like our histories,
Yeah,
like
for
are
sure.
crazy. Like I'm looking at everyone else. Like my level in Yahoo fantasy football this year is bronze.
Yeah.
I had a very down year last year. I took chances on certain guys, And then my 2 leagues that I were doing very well in, Mahomes decided to just lay a fucking egg in the playoffs. So I lost all those. So I'm low ranking. But if you look at like career record and championships and like trophies and stuff, I'm like, oh
We
shit.
are decorated.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, we're good. We're
Your
good.
boy's
Just, it was a down year.
platinum.
It was a down year. We're coming back full vengeance.
Your boy's platinum again. I'm always platinum.
The one we got to knock off is High Horse's dad.
I know.
This diamond level bullshit.
He's had like 2 good years.
He's had 2 really good years.
Yeah,
We're
it's
winning
time
like
to-
3 fucking leagues a
I
year.
mean,
Like,
he also has the time. I mean,
that's true.
does
That's
a little
true.
more research than we do.
So if you've stuck with us this long,
Heyo.
thanks. It's great. And I love everyone's like, how is there another 10 minutes like
Yeah.
when they're about to read it? So
Dane
that's
cut
why.
him off and
So that's why.
tangent.
Yeah. So we're gonna have fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.